Almost midnight. My name is Isaac Dueñas, and I am going to make a video about real estate and about the condition of the market these days, today, now. And I'm definitely going to go through a billion tangents that it's required, is a must that we talk about if we want to understand the real estate market. Because I believe that 99.9% of the gurus out there are wrong, and the news are wrong, and most people are wrong. And the main reason why they're wrong is because, look, like I said, we're gonna go through a billion tangents, and we're going to bring politics, we're gonna bring religion, we're gonna bring every topic that we're not supposed to talk about as a rule of thumb to create connection with people. But I'm just gonna break all those rules just because I feel like it today. So, dude, the market is hot. It's way hot. We just bought a duplex for 55,000. Okay, I shouldn't say we just bought a duplex because nothing is done until the somebody signs on the line that is dotted. So a billion things could happen. The buyer could die, somebody could die, the real estate agent could die. Okay, maybe not death, but yeah, but I still gotta go through a whole title company. And what about if they find, you know what I'm saying. So when I'm saying that it's a done deal, I mean that if everything goes according to plan, it will be a done deal, which is wonderful. $50,000, $30,000 rehab, and the home will be worth 150, 160. Win-win for every person in the transaction. So why do people say that the real estate market is going to crash and is dead? Like, I'm going to quote Robert Kiyosaki. Okay, Robert Kiyosaki made a book that is called The Prophecy, where he made a prediction that a big crash in the stock market will happen. A few years ago, by the way, he said, "Look, like my book, I predicted this." Well, and now he's saying it again. Look at my book. I predicted this. Dude, it's a bunch of crap. Nobody knows. That's the reality. Nobody knows. Everybody has their own agendas. I could be wrong. I don't know. Dude, I don't have a crystal ball, and like God doesn't tell me those things to me. I don't know. However, I'm going to tell you what I do know is my own life experience. Look, I was born in 1983. Okay, 1983. Cell phones were created in the first cell phone Motorola was created in 1984, I believe it was. So I'm gonna tell you things that truly have changed. Okay, let's go through tangent number one. Okay, this virus surprise has changed everything. Everything is different. The real estate is different. Businesses, stock market has crashed. Oh my goodness, we live in different times. My opinion, okay? My opinion. It's a bunch of baloney. I don't even know how to pronounce the word baloney. I think I said it right. A bunch of baloney. Nothing has changed. Things are exactly the same. Think about what the statement means. You know, I've heard people say this is the second coming. People that are religious. I'm religious. I'm Christian. Okay? But this is the second coming. This is the end of things. We're all going to die. Oh, it's been predicted. Repent. you know? Well, we've been sharing that story for years now. Since I was born, there's always been the word of repent, change. There's a second coming. Bad things will happen. Dude, bad things has always happened. There was a World War One. There were bad things. The world has changed. World War Two, things have changed. There was other pandemics. And we're still here. The stock market crash. Well, welcome to the world, the real life. The stock market has crashed. Stock market has crashed several times during history. Well, people won't travel the same. It's the end. Dude, we don't even have a cure. And people are still traveling. Look, my family we're just gonna go on vacation here like a month and nothing. Nothing has changed. Yeah, I'll give you the fact that, market conditions are a little bit different. People are still a little bit scared because you're traveling around without a cure. Okay, I'll give you that. As soon as we get a cure, the world will keep turning, the sun will keep coming up, and the moon will keep coming up once in a while, and there's still werewolves out there. If you believe in them. My kids do, therefore they're real. So I guess what I'm trying to tell you is, dude, things don't change. Things don't change. Everything, the world is exactly the same before coronavirus. Great. Now this video will be demonetized because I'm not gonna edit this crap because I just said the word and the one the name that must not be named. Voldemort. There we go. But dude, things haven't changed. Things won't change. The world keeps turning, the worlds keep rotating, but there's always people that will bring drama because brings money, brings attention. That's what it is. It brings attention. It brings attention to whatever agenda you want to push. In this case, let's talk about real estate. Yeah, well, it's the perfect agenda to make you believe that you shouldn't buy a home. Be scared. Be afraid. Don't spend money. The world is going to end. What about if it crashes and you owe more money than the home is worth? What about if? What about that? Dude, if you buy a home in the right conditions, making the numbers work, it doesn't really matter if the real estate market crashes because you'll still be okay. You'll still be fine. Overall, real estate goes up. And some of you will say, well, like in the Robert Kiyosaki podcast, it says that the real estate will always go up because the pattern has changed. Now the baby boomers buy different. No, the millennials buy different. It's a bunch of crap. The world keeps turning. The world keeps rotating. Now we'll talk about the Black Lives Matter. The world has changed because now finally they got the attention that we needed. Everybody's aware now, dude. Racism, racists, I'm gonna call it prejudice towards of any way, shape, or form has always been there, has always been there, and has always and it will always be there. What am I going to tell you? Look, I can tell you, look at this. I'm brown, so I can talk to you about this. I see what a racist person is and what they look like. But that's not an excuse to live your life with crutches. To use that as an excuse that you can't do anything, you can't succeed, you can't look people equally, you gotta treat people different, and you gotta create this what's it called? Your privilege, whatever BS people have created these days. Well, everybody has privileges. Well, it's like, well, Isaac, but like black people have really suffered. They have really been punished a lot. They have really go through. Define black people, because by the way, when you say a brown people, I'm not part of that group. And what I mean with that is I have my own personality. I can make my own decisions. I can do whatever I want. If I put myself in a position where the cops might be behind me, or they might attack me, or they might, I don't know how to say this. Like a lot of the things that we watch on TV, look at the background. Why they're not telling you the complete story of what's going on? Don't you think that there might be something weird about the whole situation? I mean, I'm not justifying here anybody. I'm just saying to treat everybody equally under the same rules. So why am I bringing this up? It's because nothing has changed. The Black Lives Matter, all lives matter, whatever way you want to call it. Look, that has changed. We've always had to deal with racist people, with prejudiced people. With this is a problem that has always been there. So this epidemic, this politics, it's a twist. It's a combination of a lot of stupid things in our society these days. All that's been the same for years, since the beginning of times. Now, I'll tell you something that is different, though. Okay, I tell you something that is different. Now more than ever before, we emphasize in your personal beliefs. What I believe that everything boils down is in two things: the non-believers and the believers. That's it. That's it. You can justify racial profiling. You can justify viruses. You can justify society. You can justify any agenda that you have out there. But the thing that you cannot justify is either you believe in something in how can I say this? Either you believe that there is a God that created everything and we all live under His rules, or you believe that the I'm gonna call the fake law of evolution, because the evolution that you think you believe is not the evolution that is actually real, and that you believe that we're all like little sperms that we crawl somehow out of soup, and then we all became humans, and one day we're gonna travel around the world like a Star Trek, and we're gonna have a saying that says to infinity and beyond. No, that's from a different movie. But that's it. Everything boils down to those two things. In Twitter, I meet a lot of people that say some very stupid things, like, I don't believe in God. Okay, I get it. You don't believe in God. So what? Because you don't believe in God, why do you have to make me believe what you believe? I'm not forcing you. I'm not forcing God into your throat. Like, I'm not telling you that you need to believe in God, but don't tell me what I shouldn't believe, if that makes sense. But that is the real problem right there. That is the root cause of everything. Let me explain. It's 12 minutes already. This video is going to take forever to upload and probably will crash while the uploading because my router is wonderful. But that's the root cause of the problem. Why? Because when you don't believe in God, I want you to answer this question. If you're watching this and you don't believe in God, answer to me this question. Why? What stopped you from grabbing a gun and pointing it towards somebody that you hate and you shooting at them, just killing them, get rid of them, done, you're done? What stopped you from doing that? Let me rephrase the question. Where does the good and bad come from? Where does right and wrong come from? Where do ethics come from? Because if we are based on the survivor of the species, which means I'm the most qualified species to live in this world, and everybody else around me will die because they don't have what I have. Somehow I am more resistant to the sun, and the world is getting warmer. So white people will eventually disappear. You know what I'm saying? Like, the law of evolution, it can never justify. It can never give you the reasons of ethics. You don't know where it comes from, and you cannot explain it to me. I dare you, to anyone watching this that you don't believe in God, to explain to me where right or wrong come from. Now, I'll tell you something. If you believe in God, I can tell you where the right and wrong come from. There's even books written about it. This because it's very simple. There's a God. He created everything, including you, and He makes the rules. And you can choose to either follow the rules, and there would be consequences, or you can choose not to follow the rules, and there will be consequences. That's it. Easy. Simple story. So I think what really bothers people these days is that people, they get bugged. It bothers people, the fact that there is rules, that you don't own the world. As a matter of fact, you don't own yourself. You don't own your own body. And because you don't own them, you want to prove your point somehow that's not true. And you're willing to do things that you know they're wrong. really deep down inside, every single one of us knows what's right and wrong. That's my personal belief. I cannot prove that, but you can put yourself in any situation. Now, whether you decide to choose that feeling or not, that's up to you, of course. And I call it. I'm explaining this in a more basic way, I guess, because I have my own beliefs about what that feeling is anyway. But everybody has that feeling. So when you bring it down to society, to real estate, let's bring everything back again. Okay, when you bring it to our society now, well, all of a sudden we have a problem like this virus going on. Well, oh my gosh, the world has changed. Look, as far as I know, for the believers, in the scriptures specify very clear. No one knows the day, the year, and the time of his coming. And if it was that easy to predict the second coming of God, of Jesus Christ, then why would the scripture say something like that? It would be stupid. Everybody could predict it, everybody could see it. That's number one. Okay, number one. Number two, we have clues of when that event will happen. And yeah, some of the things that are going on right now are part of those clues. You can say that they fit in those clues, but we had those clues for years now, so it's nothing special. The world that we live in right now, after the virus, is exactly the same world that we live before the virus. That's it. There's no difference. So I think that we should stop pretending to be special, because we're not that special in that matter. Maybe your kids will be the special ones, or your grandkids will be. Probably they will be the one experiencing things that you and me we haven't seen. I'll tell you something that created a big difference: the internet. The internet equalized things. The internet allowed knowledge to be transferred through the whole planet. I mean, before I had an encyclopedia, I had a question, and I would open my encyclopedia and I would look for the answer. And the answer normally would be like a small paragraph like this size, you know? And you had to pay money for the encyclopedia, because there was different kinds of encyclopedias, by the way. Different companies will make their own encyclopedia, and different companies will push their own agenda. Nothing different, I guess. So, but when the internet came out, now that changed things, because now this video can be watched anywhere around the world in the moment that I click submit and upload. Way back in the day, you didn't have that option. That was different. So in the moment that the internet came out, there we go. Now things became night and day different. A new world was created, where information was transparent. Now you could see what you couldn't see before. Now people, all of a sudden, like, people could share their own opinions, their own beliefs, whatever you want. Now the truth hasn't changed. The truth has always been there. It's unchangeable. It's permanent. It's solid. That won't change. But the internet really created a different world, if that makes sense. Well, this virus hasn't created a different world, whether you like it or not, whether you want to believe it or not. That's just reality. You're like, well, what about traveling, Isaac? Look at the Delta. All these companies are going to file for bankruptcy. So what? File for bankruptcy, they will restructure the organization, and you're really going to tell me that there won't be more airplanes? You're really going to tell me that people won't travel? The more people travel, when they find that cure, they found a cure. People forget of things constantly, continuously. If you're not constantly being repeated something and continually reminded something, you go back to your old patterns. People don't change. Listen to me. People don't change. Can people change? Of course. I'm not saying that people cannot change. All I'm saying that normally people just don't change. They will go to the normal habits. They will get back into the airplanes. They will get back to travel. Vacations will keep flowing. Will it take longer than usual? Probably. I don't know. Give it a year or two, whatever, But the economy will keep pushing and growing and growing. The real estate is one of the consequences of not changing. You can see it. Look, like people put a home in sale right now. I put a home on sale tomorrow morning. Most likely within a week, the home is sold. You will have a solid offer, or whatever you want to call it. Look, my sister-in-law, she sold her home within 24 hours, was it? 24 freaking hours. And you're really going to tell me that the market is going to crash? Dude, if it crashes, it would be a great thing. Great thing for us, for investors that want to allocate money, capital in real estate. It would be absolutely wonderful. Now, all you're saying that when I wake up in the mornings, instead of going online and replying to a billion people, in average, I would say we analyze around like 4 to 5 deals a day, which is nothing, by the way. There's what real estate investors out there, like, was it Ben Mala? Apparently, when he started on real estate, he says that he was analyzing around 20 deals a day. So 4 deals a day is absolutely nothing, literally nothing. But yeah, we analyze deals and then we gotta make decisions, and then all of a sudden, like, we find a good deal and we move forward with one deal. If the real estate market would crash, oh my gosh, dude! Now instead of working so hard for one deal a week, maybe we will work so hard for like 3, 4, 5 deals a week, which it would be absolutely amazing. So no, the world hasn't changed. The world keeps rotating. The world will continue moving forward with me or without me, with you or without you. And I'm sorry, but I don't think that we're that special to say that the world has changed and the whole society will change. And the problems that our society is dealing with right now are the same problems we were dealing a decade, century, or even more, like even like 1,000 years ago. We were dealing with similar things. Maybe we didn't have the communication tools that we have now, but we were dealing with a lot of problems. So that's my opinion about it. What do you think? I think that if you bring it down to real estate, I think that if you are thinking about buying a home, I think that you should do it. Do it. Do something today. Don't wait. Look, life is so short. I read once that life is just how you call this line? The little line between 2 years, like apostrophe? No apostrophe. Our life is just a little line between the year that you were born and the year that you die. That's it. You're just a little tiny line. That's it. So don't wait for opportunity. Just do something. I'm not saying to go there and pay for an overpriced home. I mean, if you can afford it, if you're rich and you can afford to pay anything you want to lose money, then I guess go for it. But most people don't. I'm just saying, like, make sure the numbers work. Make sure that you have some plan for the future, and absolutely don't wait. Take advantage of the incredible interest rates that we're getting, that the people that are freaking out are allowing you to get these days. Let them freak out. Take advantage of the society that you live right now. Because, by the way, since you were born, things have been changing according to the TV, to the radio, and to the world. If you think about it, there's always been news every day. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, something happened. Oh my gosh, something happened. Oh my gosh, something happens. And then you realize, well, the world keeps turning. Life is, is good. Life is good. Life is great. And if you think that, oh my gosh, you're scared, you should be under a box and, the end of the world is coming, I think that right there lies the problem. The problem lies that you don't have a reason to live. You don't have goals set in place. You are scared of the future because of everything that I described. And the most important thing is probably you don't have your priorities in line. What do you believe? What is your personal, unmovable, unshakable belief? Because at the end of the day, we will all die, and we will take with us our religions, our beliefs, our communications with our supreme being, whatever your supreme being is. And yeah, thank you for watching. Bye.